that ricochet. So we get the Rubik 5. So Snap does elect to be the position 3.
Yeah.
I can't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of play in this bottom lane. As long as top of that Morphling, there is the save we were talking about though. Is it enough to keep this Morphling alive? The swap gets him away. You mentioned that earlier, that Benji would be there to swap afterwards. And now they may just lose Johnny instead of...
Doesn't happen today. Troll not getting the Snapfire either, because he just gets men sent to his lane to help him. That Snapfire has a Maelstrom now. He's being charged, but I don't think anything will come of this.
He needs to get out of there as quickly as he can because there are 4 heroes. Swap, is it enough? Can he get out of there? Can he get into the trees? He is so thick, but there are 3 heroes just punching and punching and punching him. He gets the stun off onto the axe, but it's not enough, and that is a 5.
Illusion Heroes, insane.
I love a good Dota name, a good, like, playful Dota name, like Noseholder. Last night I had the pleasure of being able to shoutcast Tasmania.
Whenever a player gets arenaed, you'll notice at the top on the screen, they have a red eye symbol showing that they're disconnected in vision from the rest of their team, and they can't be seen.
Hey,
So, like,
Blink
the
Dagger.
had
there, and that spirit can still have a whole bunch of impact if it can somehow survive, but I don't think it is going to survive here because the bear is on top of it, and down goes the spirit as
They don't have
well.
the damage anymore.
Be enough to burst through these heroes, and they knew it, right?
He had the net worth doing well, but the problem is the rest of his team got a bit sacked. I think they're not going to go back to the drawing board, but they're definitely going to...
Out, pins the IO to the wall, and now Gachi, caught out of position, might be a big scary undead Necro, but needs to be careful. Takes out the Invoker. I didn't even see Invoker on the backline. Here's the first Snapfire ult we've seen in the game, and down goes Rubik.
Playing against a Spirit Breaker, a Troll, and a Mars is going to be almost impossible to have a lot of like momentum and actually play well with the win. So I'm honestly not sure why they picked it here. But this kind of does lock in their picks.
Potential as a position 4. We saw Seb playing a couple of seasons ago quite a bit, and a few other heroes were picking her up as well. But now she's universal, and we're not seeing her being played as much as a support. The lift. Not much to follow up.
Didn't have the spear. So something to note is the Invoker didn't have boots in that whole engagement. So if he overstepped, he was probably dead. But lucky for him. George does have the Eternal Shroud now, but I don't know.
There's a bear in the tree here, guys. There's a bear, and it wants you. It's lurking.
He has Blink.
Ooh, big nuke comes out from the Zeus, and the bear is immediately on. Ame, Yatoro. Sometimes you sometimes you're just caught out, and that's the end of that. Also, no respect for the Morphling. He doesn't have the sweet sharks. Both of them look like they need something to bring it together. Slaughter Gangs looks like it's the stronger draft to me so far, but I feel like AU Rejects are cooking something, and it's a windy, but they didn't deal with the bear. And there's that beautiful save from RFA, but it might not be enough to save the Venji. She's slipping out in the back. She's got to deal with the zombies. She doesn't deal with the zombies, and now she's dead. Like Slaughter Gang did, or are you going to come up with another wild pick that's a little bit unpredictable, a little bit spicy?
So I think both teams are going to mix up the drafting here.
Strikes me as the time in the game that the Necro might need to start getting involved, because I'm worried. I know that it needs the farm to sort of start to have an impact. So he starts confusing. Oh! And Huncho goes on the Undying. He steps out of position and he goes down as well. This game is pretty active, isn't it? There are kills going on all over the map.
Ceaseless Dirge did act, like sometimes you see it on Sand King, sometimes you see it on Venge. They can get up there into the 600s, into the 650s, really early as well. Even Ursa now, this guy's at almost 800.
Oh, Tombstone goes down, and I think what they could cook up. Look at this cutie Rubik with his little feather shoulder. This is his own little green Scardy. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's get this ball on the right.
So it doesn't actually count as a death. It just gives the gold to Honcho. And a
Gachi is sprinting in. Praise on the sideline to try and interrupt him as he goes in. But there is the chucking about diving this Tiny. Tiny, you need to be careful. You've stepped out of position and the big bear is coming for you. They elect not to finish him off because they think that the zombie can. And Tiny gets hit. What's Wendy up to here? Yeah. Stacking like a good support? No? Yes? Yep, she decides to.
Yeah, there's not really a lot she can do.
Spirit Breaker is pinged out the...
They really put a...
slip out of my grasp once again with the Shadow Blade! He slinks away! Raccoon! You nerd! Right game so far?
Okay, so...
wait, hold up, did they just catch the... They just caught the Necro.
Necro's dead. He bought travels. I hate it when ball players do this. He gets...
Let it sit there and not get casted, so here I am once again to yell into your ears. And this time, I'll be yelling into White Glint's ears. White Glint, do you want to say hello? Man wipe going the way of AU rejects. Holy, AU rejects have come to play this game. They are ripping up with a 13k lead at 7.
That's 6 HP regen and 3 mana regen permanently now on the Rubik. Oh, that's good.
That is something that you want to see on a
4-2 still open. The Venge 1-3 still open. The Shadow Demon, it's probably going to be 5. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
But Slaughter Gang still have so much.
Rubik. I cannot count the amount of times I keep seeing this hero getting picked. I think this hero sucks. Like, I think it's
they were in the arena for most of the spear duration.
Oh, I was wondering. For me, I thought maybe Yules or something, but yeah, of course, Invoker.
Yeah.
Whirlwind. Yeah.
Ancho panicked a little bit and got hunted for it.
Those are super stacked.
Yeah, so the lanes have gotten much better for AU rejects this game than last match, which means the Dire's not going to have any momentum going into mid game at this rate.
Coming with him, and I think they're about to try and shut this axe down as fast as they can. He gets the Torn off, but he's already switched to strength, so he's okay. Gubala trying to hide in the trees, but Huncho George is here with the stun, and that axe is dead. Okay. Nice running! Axe wants the dunk!
They got him!
Oh
no, he
my
doesn't.
god! Rampage to that axe! Oh my god, that's Rue's doing everything he can to get up into its fountain, and
God.
it is not going to make it. The bear is on top of the Shadow Demon, but the bear is also underneath 2 towers, and there's a whole lot of armor there to keep those boys safe. Toss back, and out of position, straight to that Sand King. He's stunned under 2 towers, and he is eliminated! Any more from Power Rangers. Now, I wasn't watching you guys until they told me I should be, and now I've got my eyes firmly set on you. Somehow you snagged Oct as your 5, and he is performing, man. That guy's got better. And of course, Axe Dagon, right? Axe Dagon deals with those major illusions.
Yeah, Dagon one-shots all illusions, no matter what. And...
Game get called? 27 minutes, was it?
I think it was like 27. I said it was quite fast. They might just do the same here. I mean, sure, Radiant don't have... They don't have like a lot of build...
Pot keeps him alive from that Venge wave of terror.
That is an expensive salve. It only did like the first 1 second of value, but it was the only second he needed. That's a very expensive movement.
Exactly.
The Shadow Demon does these Greaves on Winching are doing God's work for him. And it's insane. So they did change the Roshan's banner. It's not going to leave the lasting buff on them anymore. So these creeps are just going to be standard creeps.
So are you captain for your team before I go any further?
Yes.
Yeah. So put me in the mindset of a captain in Upper Division Oz. We've got all of these teams here, and I'm not going to make you rank them because that's rude. That's one of
Yeah.
the strongest POS ones we've seen.
Definitely, definitely.
Is it going to be enough to deal with the Morphling?
I don't know. So on paper, right?
Wind Ranger though. Wind Ranger getting the runoff, but I do hear a Spirit Breaker ult on the side, and it looks like Necro's been caught out of position. Does get the scythe off though before he goes down, so he doesn't go down empty-handed. Axe snatched it up, and it looks like the axe secures the Wisdom Rune. I think they're having some fun. I think they're feeling themselves in this game. So good to see. Good to see that even in a comp setting, these boys can still. That is a spicy little start. Gachi, stun comes out onto him. He needs to be a little bit careful, but Wing Xing is here now on that Undying, and it's in his name. He'll make sure Gachi.
Honcho is edging towards his first item in a long time here.
You know, when they first changed this Dagon, I were coming up on Young Harold as well. You got 20 coming up on Axe. Meanwhile, this poor Morphling is 15, and the rest of his team are even lower than that. So when hey, step up too far, and we're gonna put some pain on you.
I gotta give Harold credit though. If there's any player that I would want playing from behind, it would probably be him. He does know how to make miracles happen with borderline.
In the way of bans, picks, is there like some specific heroes you think are going to come out during the pick phase that we might expect to see across both games? Alright, talk to me.
Just ends the game.
That has to have been a meme, right? Like they're gonna be memeing.
No way.
Hunter's down here. Did they scout him on this ward? Yeah, they did now. Okay.
They see him now, yeah. This is another good ward. As you can see, the Dire has almost the exact same ward play. Picking bottom. They got the Ursa in position.
I think Johnny feels that something is coming this time and does have the stun. Yeah. Throws the stun onto this Moo Cow, but that means that bear is free to just jump on you. Gets the swap, tries to swap the cow in. If he gets the space he's been having.
If he can make a play off a Naked Radiance, yeah, but you still gotta respect the fact that he only has 1,000 health.
Oh, power shot just misses. Oh, so since I've seen anything like that. Let's go.
Charge onto Johnny top. Cow just might be a little bit short on the damage. Most people say this matchup is Morphling favored. I think on paper it is strictly a 50-50, and it depends on how the fights start and how the rest of the team interacts with each other. So because
Reverie Fox's BKB and he wants in, but all of a sudden the Mooncow is on his back line and keeping his supports a whole lot busier. Oh my god, that axe call is so phenomenal! He catches 3! 1, 2, 3! Are going to get stunned in your sandstorm, you know? Is it going to outrank? Hang on, hold on, they've got Johnny again, and he's been Spirit Breaker ult back onto the high ground. He gets the swap to try and get away. Hunter's here with the Shivas.
Away from him because the Voka doesn't even need them, I don't think. Lag. I have.
Don't stress, I'll let you know what's going on. One thing I was going to say though is that the series against Team Dog Cage, I have been messaged by many people who have told me that they were super impressed with your gameplay and your team's gameplay last night. So close. Prey is running now and he's a very fast hero. Tiny, hungry, goes for the beach ball play and is absolutely successful with it. Love a beach ball play. Used to get those all the time back in my day. Oh,
I think maybe with no items he'd be the highest HP hero, but we're starting to get into the point where the universal heroes that stack up the double circle at the start of the game. So impressive comeback. He did back landing, which I didn't think is possible against a Shadow Demon, simply just because of disruption makes it impossible to drag creeps. And then he just
not respecting this Io. That's what I'm seeing, right? This is the power of Io. This is why it's one of my favorite heroes. People think that this hero is boring. I get told all the time Io's boring to play. I don't.
Once or twice to really destabilize them in the game.
And we are the We are the cattle capital of the world, and of course we're gonna love the space cow. I think I said this in a stream, by the way.
Oh, I've been disconnected.
Oh, looks like they're doing what they can to get on top of Johnny once again. Johnny running as fast as he can, and they do manage to get him. Huncho pops the ult and jumps in, but that damage just doesn't seem to matter.
That's alright. The whole goal is to get farm without like showing on the map and without like putting yourself in danger. But he's just not able to do it because the cow will just charge through and insta-kill his illusions no matter what.
Yeah, on the snap as well. So, oh, looks like they've found Necro. Troll immediately on top of him. Charge comes out. Troll's gonna just start punching him as fast and hard as he can, and I think kills on him. Well, let's have a look. Only 3 showing for his kills.
31.
Holy!
That's a lot.
46 assists on this. Your eyes are probably fixed on Riyadh. Are you taking any lessons from what's been happening in the group stages of that so far?
I have a feeling, yeah, at least one player on all these teams. I can almost
3, right?
Yes, with Soul Strike, he's done the wand opening and all branches to maximize his damage as quickly as possible. I will comment the
Raccoon decides to just get on top of this Sand King as quick as he can. Out comes the Tombstone, and all of a sudden Huncho might be in a little bit of trouble. Winching is running straight at him, but does he have the damage to deal with him? Out comes the Zeus ult, and now charge from Raccoon to secure the fruit, but RFA is just going to throw out the disruption, but now he doesn't really have any save for himself if they do decide to go, but they're just putting so much damage onto Raccoon. Is 1 here, or are they running the Tiny as a 1?
So, AE Rejects have done something brilliant here. Gubala has played Snap 3 earlier in the tournament. Snapfire can be a miss.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gooby's just getting unpunished playing in their jungle, and he's queued up a Dagon of all things. This is going to be great to see. It's going to be clowny as shit.
Hey, I'll say this. Reverie's been dunked once.
A lot of heroes they just can't get them 100 zeros. They just can't kill them.
Hard to fight against a team that has a 30k lead, you know?
Yeah, that's just... If they weren't 30k up and they would...
Ooh, that Mars might be in trouble if he stays just a little bit longer. Scattershot comes out from the Ruby to get the slow off, and they have to choose a target now. If you chase 2 rabbits, you won't catch either. That Rubik is leaving!
A little bit. Tiny instant from Slaughter Gang.
Yep.
Okay. So I expected the Breaker to get banned, but I guess taking it instead of leaving it on the table is kind of like the same thing. High on health, so your innate ability, the Maul, does 1.5% of your current health, not your max health. So it's very important to stay high, because like at the moment he's getting 4
to this Mars with this facet, and it feels impossible as a save support. And we've got an IO game on our hands, so I really expect that to have some impact this game.
I feel like, you're not going to see many IO saves. Crappy lane with the rotations, like being 2-0-1, he's not like tanking deaths randomly. It's pretty happy. It's all going to be up to Ken Gachi, like, honestly, can he get his shard and can he get in and not die getting bans? We got Johnny Sins, the +3 for Slaughter Gang. Second best Axe player in the entire server. Got to give him credit.
Nice,
Frankie,
I love Axe.
Honestly, Frankie just plays whatever. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what AU Rejects pick here, because they have to lock in a good Morphling counter and something that doesn't get ruined by Shadow Demon. So, what offlaner...
But honestly, I think we are going to see a pretty fierce game tonight. From what you've told me before, of course, we went live, and from what I've seen from this upper division, it seems like it's going to be a bit of a brawl all the way into the captain's.
Needs to get the Galepnia early, and he never made it to 4-star. That's just how bad of a game he had, unfortunately. And I honestly do think this game would be completely different if top lane actually went well for the AU Rejects. We would just go back into his roots of like playing LD, playing all these really memey pos ones. Maybe they get Gooby on Razor or something. I think it was completely overlooked. I don't even think it was banned. I don't know how to do that.
See.
It's pretty low cooldown at this high level, right? It's only 15 seconds at all levels, maybe.
Double Tombstone.
Yeah.
Refresher shard picked up by Winching. Yeah.
Really, really
Okay.
rough.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yes, so the Rubik's is going to be banned, the IO is going to be banned, and the Break is going to be banned.
so if they ban those three heroes, let's say they get rid of those three. I'm surprised with how short it was before that Roche went top that they didn't leave it to secure the Ags. They decided that the refresher is
Good
more
call,
impactful.
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Game on this Spirit Breaker. Did you say that Raccoon plays a lot of Spirit Breaker, or is this
yeah.
like a
How the
okay?
hell did he get up there? Look at where
He,
he's standing and look at
yeah,
the
yeah,
ward he
yeah.
plays.
He
That is
slipped past.
phenomenal.
He slipped past Prey.
This is some good Dota, hey. This is what I
This
was
is
hoping for from one of these games.
this is what you were telling me was going to happen. After the first game, I was
Only good counter to the Spirit Breaker because of the Demonic Purge completely rips off Bulldoze. And it will also pull off the attack speed on Ursa. So those 6 hits.
we are having a game. Dagon
Oh, yeah.
Axe.
This has been a treat to watch so far. Okay, so they will wait for Roche to go bottom and
Zeus
then get
is
the...
alone here.
It's a very awkward angle to go for... Oh, they're going to commit. They're going to commit with this. That's a very awkward angle to go as Radiant, I think. They definitely drew the line. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. Notable...
Magnetize. A stun had come out from a support to keep me in position, and then that Dagon burst was enough to just keep me alive, keep me in the fight. Especially now he's lost his strength scaling. Into a Necro IO was able to somehow like get what he wanted out of the lane. He really wasn't that far behind. I had a look at the net worth, and he wasn't that far behind. And then on top of that as well, he was able to then just.
But he has a Maelstrom, so he can actually get his farm up. And the Lil Shredder with Ricochet 2 does so much damage.
Oh,
Cannot understate
Spirit Breaker ult onto Io. Io's looking to tether. No.
3 Mars. They're just going to play around the arena, I think. They'll play slow.
Seems simpler to execute, right? Like it's a Mars ult,
Yes,
it's a troll
definitely.
ult, it's an invoker winning his lane and rotating. Like this seems like the
Last night it was an EU team, but I can't quite remember the
Damo,
name.
you're in chat. Tell me. Lalol. It was Lalol. Thank you, Damo, you
Laurel,
legend. Lalol, our boy Lalol. Picking the Sand King and making it look hype.
Having me on, I appreciate it. It's a bit amazing series to watch. I was going to watch it anyway, and I'm glad we could have a really fun time while watching it, because my god, they put on a show game 2. Game 1 was a bit of a...
He's about to take a whole lot of damage. There he goes.
Went
down.
Stands.
One hit.
Yeah, I think he overstayed his welcome there, definitely. And he didn't even deny the bounty room.
They feed the Benji to the bear too.
Sorry, what?
They feed.
As well as with the facets, we have like the most notable ones. We actually have an attack IO with the Crits Krieg. We also have the Ricochet 2 on the Snapfist, not in the arena. It's gonna be really hard for him to get anything done. And the you have to notice, I don't think the spirits actually give much vision anymore. I know they only give vision when they explode, and I don't think it's a...
And that's the thing, is this magical damage that's coming out from Radiant is enormous, right? Like it's a lot of magical damage. But that's the thing with magical damage, is it does eventually start to drop off. Once you start to see pipes, Eternal Shroud.
Sucks. But he has his mech. He's already gonna do everything he's gonna do for like the next 10 minutes, you know? Like he can get a Holy Lock on top of this maybe.
You know, I quite like, though this Ursa might be a little bit out of position. He's going to try and take what he can, because he did get that Wisdom Rune, but I think they'll take his life in return. Swap back, get stunned. Shadow Demon, you need to be careful. That is a big scary bear. Already dead. Gachi gets the clap, back on full HP, and that is a team wipe once again on Slaughter Gang.
It may not look like it, but that was perfect.
Is Bloodsport.
Yes, I was going to say this as well.
Yep. Do you want to tell the stream why Bloodsport is absolutely nuts?
Yes, so when you have somebody trapped in an arena, usually...
And Prey was playing phenomenally on that Spirit Breaker, carving up and making some real space. But I think the hero of this story for me has got to be Johnny. That Mars laned into...
It wasn't that fight, but it was actually the fight before where, yet again, Reverie was randomly... Like, they were trying to randomly go on Reverie as they were going on mid, and there was 2 fights happening for, like, the 30th time this match, where people are just like, who wants to play into Shadow Fiends. Because
can we just talk about that? Can we talk about the Zeus? I'm seeing an axe called into a Zeus ult, and I'm seeing a dead Morphling. Absolutely not. There it is. Here we go. They've caught all of the Dire team and they are running as fast as they can. Johnny, you need to get out of there, mate, because there is a whole team here. The IO has gone back. Gubala makes a perfect entry with the IO right by their side. Still winning his lane, so who am I to judge? Shadow Demon, best hero. Absolutely best
That's
hero.
his innate ability, right? That gives you the 2% stacking.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, yeah, got it. Unfortunately, Winching just gets caught out. It's just... They're not respecting the global presence of the IO, and I feel like they're not respecting the global presence of the Spirit Breaker nearly enough.
One of the biggest ball plays I've seen, but it might just save. No, it does not save the snap, but then the Avalanche comes out on top of that Invoker, and Invoker is absolutely annihilated. Power shot out to stop the blinks. They've got a few seconds. Avalanche out of Dota. Oh god, I'd like to see it gone. But there you go. Hey, just to call it out, you said that there'd be an axe ban, and what do we have? An axe ban.
Yeah, we have axe ban first 2 for AU region kills, at least, right?
And we did see the Shadow Demon having the impact that we expected it to have. Where it was like saving this Morphling. We did have the swaps from Johnny to keep...
Meant to be. We have another charge onto Johnny. Let's see how much damage this one
does. Johnny. I wish there was a charge counter because that bull has been bullying you all night. The Zeus is coming to try...
Yeah. So the Zeus is really good here. It gives him a lot of vision. He's obviously... They don't need to pick a mid laner to go in, right? They have the Breaker. They have the Axe. They have the Ursa. They can make a lot of space and then have the Zeus in the back. Just
it doesn't quite work. You come up against a pretty tough team in Slaughter Gang, maybe underestimating them a little bit. What's your next step? Are you gonna go for something more traditional, something easier to execute, right? Like I was such a strong hero. They're feeling around. RFA getting a bit cheeky. Gubala chosen the creep. Oh, in comes that huge Mars arena, and the Tiny elects to blink into the arena, which is what I'd like to admit. So. Keen to see if they can pull out some cheeky little ricochets, get some cheeky little kills. Meanwhile, on the other side, Spirit Breaker decides to go for the, of course, the Bull Rush. Absolutely nonsense there. Throws 2 heroes of Team Radiant into this Mars arena with the big blood sport. There's no saving them. They're stuck in there. They're freaking out because everyone freaks out when they're in a Mars ult.
The Spirit Breaker has just been the MVP of both these games, I think.
Prey caught out of position once again, charged and deleted by that Spirit Breaker. Referee, you're juggling it against 3 heroes here. The rest of the team isn't with him its place. And I don't want to give anyone in my chat the wrong ideas. Please don't start buying Dagon on Axe in my pubs. But it's working, you know? It's working this game.
I agree. He's got his Yashikaya, 2 parts of it Aghanims. He's just keen.
Looks like they don't really call this bluff, right? Like, the Sand King ult is up there. He's got an Eternal Shroud. He can live against that Zeus. But they've just been...
Yeah, now that I think about it. But they haven't actually decided what hero is going in what position. This could be a tiny one here. This could still be a wind one. QB is on the snap. Okay, it's the +5 tiny. Okay.
They know Axe is bottom. Do they try something?
They do have vision on Dire. Okay, goes for
looks like
Raccoon is a massive like troll in pubs, and he'll just like drop a Broodmother randomly. There's the RFA Rubik respect bans as expected. I do think they will ban IO here. I don't see them letting...
Corruption was one of the best saves and best initiations in Dota, but then they gave the illusions more damage. Awesome. His laning phase, completely buffed by Promulgate. It is just one of the strongest facets that is being overlooked.
Help him, he's just dying to magical damage from the cow. Just another fighter. I feel like this cow could be second highest damage.
The initiation here from AU Rejects is pretty scary. You've got Axe Call.
Wow, there's so many like... You can see that like both teams are playing well, obviously, but there's so many like minute mistakes that are getting punished, right? Like bottom, those 2 heroes not dying. You might see that somewhere else, but
wait! All over this map, Morphling goes down to the Axe.
What the? All of
wow!
And they're going on to the Tiny.
Tiny
bottom, they're just out of it entirely and opting for the Eternal Shroud instead because of how much damage the toss combo does to you.
Shadowblade on the Spirit Breaker. At this stage,
it's going to start getting out of control.
There is a Glipney. I get it.
They just don't know the Roche is happening on Dire. They could honestly contest with like the fact there's only 2 heroes from Radiant in the pit, or even nearby. They're just so spread out farming.
But you need to pick an MVP for me.
Ooh, okay, it's tough. There's a lot of good competitors, but I got to give it to Gubala. So if you look at like the landing stage, yes, he's top 3 did his own reflexes and is now unable to get the Strength Wolf off from the Axe. And that's why he's been dying this... like
Yeah,
3
me
or 4
too, me too.
times.
That's why I always get ducked as Morphling as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
A little bit tip. Finally cleans him
From
up, but he's in
Reverie.
danger now.
The Reverie has not
Wait,
switched to
hold in.
strength. He's taking so much damage, and then there's a big spooky bear. The stun comes out,
Oh my
and
God.
they are gonna let him live for now. Swap?
It's a clown
No?
fest.
Swap's
No
on
swap,
cooldown.
5-second cooldown.
Oh, this IO. The IO gank is here, and then we see the tiny toss, and that is an enormous amount of damage. They try for the beach ball play. It doesn't really play off. The troll is out. Can he get the root? No. Hey, I've been wrong before.
I'd say he needs to get active around the 15-minute mark with his shard. He needs to purchase Radiance and shard on the dot at 15 if he wants to have any hope of winning this. It's